Make some noise. Let's hear it for Dre.
Hi. So last summer, I hadn't been on a date in about a year, and I decided to have a fresh new start and be really open and available and go on a first date. And by that I mean I accidentally got drunk and tried to steal a guy's dog. And he invited me to a canoe across the lake. And when he invited me to do this, I said, I don't know if you can see me, but I'm not exactly a very active person. He was like, it's okay. I am a very active person. I was on the rowing team. Most of my friends have hiked Everest. Like, it's totally cool. If you can't run, you can just hang back and just sit in the back and we'll make it across. And I was like, all right, that sounds okay. I can just sit in a boat. So we go to the Winooski River, and we row down the river, and it's really casual, and I'm feeling really good about it, and it's super comfortable. And then he's like, I was thinking we could row to the Ausable Chasm. Do you guys know how far that is? It's as far from here as you can possibly get in the water. So without going to like the other side of the ocean. So I was like, that sounds really far. He's like, it's totally okay. And he is like, 6'4", and like I got bruises bumping into him. He's a very muscly, beautiful specimen of a man. And he was like totally confident. I was like, that's awesome. And so we get out in the water, and it is very choppy. I've never seen it like that. It's like the ocean. There's water getting into the boat, and at one point the New York the forest rangers come out in their motorboat and check in on us and say, we're gonna keep an eye on you. This is very dangerous waters. We're checking in on everyone. And we're in a canoe. And we're drinking heady toppers and feeling really good about ourselves. And I'm just like, with this mountain of a man, I'm totally fine. And he's like, we're doing great. We get to the Ausable Chasm, and it is beautiful. And we're there, and we're hanging out on the beach. And he goes, what would be great is if on the way back, instead of rowing across, we made a sail. And I said, that does sound great. I have no idea how that would work. And he goes, it's cool, I got this. And so we hike into the woods, and we use my Leatherman, which I feel really cool that I have the Leatherman. I'm really a part of this situation. And he saws down this Y-shaped branch, and he attaches it with duct tape to the boat, and then he pulls out this sarong he had. Yeah, a lot of my friends, I told this story over and over and over again. Everybody's like, so what was the sail made out of? And I was like, it was a sarong. And they're like, you went on more dates with this guy. Like, he just doesn't seem like... Anyway, he was great. So he uses his sarong, and he tapes it to this Y-shaped branch, and we take it, tape to the boat, and we get in the boat, and we start cruising across the lake. It is so fast. And he says a bunch of words about knots and all this other stuff. We're going really fast. I'm just like, all I know is we're not rowing, and it's getting dark, and it's amazing. And he's like, listen, I'm going to drop the sail, and we're just going to watch the sunset and have a moment. And I was like, wow, this is a great first date. Like, we have done something that I am pretty sure I'm not physically capable of. And I feel good, I feel like happy. And so he drops the sail, we watch the sunset, and it's like late August. So as soon as the sun sets, it is like pitch black, right? And he looks at his phone and he goes, listen, he's like, we're going so fast, I'm gonna put the sail back. He's like, but we are at the exact middle of the lake, isn't that cool? He's like, we're right directly on the New York border, as far as you can get from Vermont and New York as you can possibly be in the water. I was like, that is really cool. That doesn't sound dangerous at all. So he puts the sail back up so expertly, like he's just done this so many times. And he puts the sail back up, and we go for 30 seconds, and the boat flips into the air and just flings us into the water. Did I mention we have an 8-pound chihuahua? Hector. Hector is adorable. I've never loved a Chihuahua before, but this Chihuahua is an amazing creature. And so Hector sinks like a stone. And he looks at me, he's like, you gotta save Hector. I'm gonna try and bail out the boat. And so I grab Hector and I throw him on my shoulder and I grab our dry bag and I'm floating around and I'm bobbing in the water. And I've got Hector and he keeps sinking and I keep grabbing him and chucking him back on my shoulder. And he's like at the boat and he's trying to bail it out and he looks at me and he goes, listen, I'm an EMT. I've hiked so many mountains. I don't know if you remember, but all of my friends have hiked Everest. He goes, I've never felt more danger than right now. I feel fine. He goes, I have 4% battery in my phone. I've never called 911, but I'm going to do it. I was like, okay. He's like, all you have to do is keep Hector alive. So Hector and I, we are like buddies in this. And, he keeps dropping drastically off my shoulder, and I grab him by the neck, and I throw him back on my shoulder in the air. And meanwhile, this guy's name is Murdo, which my friends would later say is probably short for murderer. And he's on the phone with the EMTs, and he goes, hi, I'm in a boat on the exact border, or middle of the lake between New York and Vermont. And I'm with another person and a very small dog, and we have 4% battery. Can you send someone to help us? He gets transferred 4 times. So then he looks at me, he's like, listen, they're gonna send someone, they hung up on me, we gotta do this. He's like, we gotta get in the dry bag, we gotta find a light and just hope somebody comes to us. So we find this one little like SOS light we have, and we put it on the boat, and we grab onto each other, and it's like sinking, and we just tell knock-knock jokes to each other, and other odd jokes, like, where does a army, oh, I'm gonna forget it. Anyway, so we tell these bad jokes to us on the boat. And so then the Coast Guard comes and saves us. And we end up at the night having a burger, and I look at him and I was like, that was the best date I've ever had. And I got a fresh new wool blanket from the Coast Guard.